Guess I got to come on stage first. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Yep, was on Tommy's show last night, and he did a wind down, and I said hi, and he said, why don't you just come in tomorrow or something like that? So, yep, I'm going to not overlap my show so I can not cut into his time in the mornings and be there for the show. So, yeah. Hold on here. Where's my comments at? Man, there's all kinds of Joe Della. Good morning, Magooch, Co-Train. Hope you guys are doing good. Lots of crazy shit going on going on in the news right now. More Candace stuff. They're going to use the Epstein as a distraction. And it's crazy how they always, it's like they trigger some type of, uprest, some upheaval, some nonsense when they don't want us looking in a certain direction. So now we got Dearborn, Michigan is like becoming a powder keg, and it's going to be a huge flashpoint for violence. I mean, we know it's coming. So we got people slapping bacon on the Quran, which I think is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Sorry. Get my tea water. I almost choked on my tea water. This guy is slapping bacon on top of a Quran and then gets sucker punched by some Muslims in Michigan. Please don't rub it. It's in cold and pissing down with rain. Oh, rub it in. Yeah, no doubt, Joe. Who cares? No, I know. I'm just teasing Co-Train. He was just teasing me. All right, let's see what we got here. It's just some of these videos are so triggering. I didn't even bookmark them. I bookmarked them and then I undid it. I was like, I can't do this to the crowd this morning. They don't want to get as fucking pissed off as I am about this shit. Some things you just can't unsee. And it's like, okay, do we really need to see? Do you need this lady fucking? I guess she was pissed off at her neighbor or something. This little tiny fucking ankle biter dog runs out of the house, and the guy like immediately goes after his dog. He's like, come here, like obviously this has probably been a problem before. It's a little tiny dog. It runs across the street, but then it comes back, and then you hear bam, bam, bam. The fucking grandmother across the street shot at the dog. She misses the dog and she kills her granddaughter. And then you hear a little girl going, mommy, 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 mommy. She's just fucking screaming. And it's just in some fucking suburban neighborhood in the middle of the day. I mean, why? So you got to be careful. That's why I bookmarked this shit. You can't just scroll through Twitter publicly. It's fucking insane what's on there sometimes. I did not want to watch that this morning. You don't see the little girl get hit or anything, thank God. But it's just crazy shit. Because there's already enough fucking crazy shit on there that I am going to show you guys as it is. So I don't know if you heard.
Frustration outside.
There was a whole bunch of black kids that jumped a black mom and her 2 kids after school. And we're just going to hear her talk for a second. And I'll show the video in a little bit of the beating.
Frustration outside of Orville T. Bright Elementary School as parents rallied around Prashanda Hatter and her 9-year-old son.
I can't sleep because I wake up in the middle of the night with that vision in my head of my son calling my name to help him, and I couldn't do nothing for him. That really hurted me the most.
The 33-year-old reported to police she was walking with her son when they were attacked by a group of kids. It happened near 106 and Bensley Avenue around 3 p.m. Monday, just blocks away from school.
No mother should be that helpless and be targeted by children inside of her own community.
State Senator Willie Preston met with the victim and her son as they called for a meeting with school administrators. The victim told NBC5 the incident stems from bullying at school. Meanwhile, Chicago police launched an investigation. Parents and other concerned residents demand answers. They say this points to a deep-rooted problem in the community.
Okay, a deep-rooted problem in the community. You mean to tell me that some black kids beating up some other black kids or a mom never happened before in these ultra-violent black neighborhoods? Give me a fucking break. The fact that the senator is there already is, I think this just happened yesterday. Oh man, this is the red flag for me, big time. I mean, first of all, what are we supposed to do about it? What is general America supposed to do about a super poor, violent black neighborhood with black on black crime from kids and families fighting inside of one school? How is that a fucking United States problem? Deal with that shit over there. What do you, I mean, that don't even make no fucking sense. But it just got me thinking, okay, why is the senator there? This is, so I can't put my finger on it yet, but they're doing something. They're changing the schools around and they're doing it here. They're now rolling out accountability in the schools for bullying and stuff like that. The University of Washington says that they're going to do a better job of policing the schools for protests and stuff like that. So I don't know if this has to do with like somehow AI and the social credit score and our kids being monitored somehow with artificial intelligence at school, or I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's something there, because there's always a reason when there's something like this happens, because this isn't like a huge deal for it to make it this far onto the news. I mean, they don't even cover the fucking genocide of the Palestinian people on the news, let alone a little schoolyard fight. So, and I do have the video of what happened with that. So I'm just going to move on. We don't need to see all of that. Oh, well, here's the video of the fight right here.
Blood. Shamar looking at. Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at.
And it's not fun to watch. I mean, they do get beat up. Those little kids get thrown to the ground. But there's nothing, like I said, this is just, I mean, this has got to happen all the time.
Look at them ankles, boy. Shamar looking at. Junior. Hey, foot, don't touch my brother, foot. Look at them bitches, bag back here. Other bitches, Lauren. That's his ass. That's his ass.
And here it is. It's this animal zoo mob monkey mentality that these people have. As soon as one person throws a punch, then they all jump in. And I've seen this happen to, they do it to everybody. They do it. I don't know if she's pregnant or not. I don't think she is, but she has some type of disability. But as soon as one of them throws a punch, they all jump in like a pack of wolves and just like hyenas. And it's just like, it's triggering. And they scream and yell and they repeat the same word over and over. Get her, get her, get her, get her, I mean, it's like you can just predict what's going to happen.
The little kids in them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them. I'm saying the little kids. Oh, so smash that bitch on my brother. Damn! Crack, damn! Damn! Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Let my motherfucking homie Get his ass, Joe! Damn! They working it! They working it! Damn! Damn! Oh my God!
And, you know, I'm not going to lie. That's one of the most fucked up things I've seen in a while. I mean, but again, you know, here we have the senator and all of the scumbags that allow this, perpetuate this type of, you know, I mean, these people don't have a chance. You know, the poverty that those, you know, there's just nothing. It's incredibly, if you go back in the history to like, you know, the 50s and the 60s, and even a little bit before that, where they actually had their own, you know, social programs and, you know, were allowed at like the boys and girls schools and the boys and girls clubs and stuff like that. You know, they fucked the blacks over in inner city, you know, like LA and all the different inner cities. So they didn't have a choice but to fucking form their own fucking gangs. And, you know, I'm not blaming nobody, but I'm just saying, what are we supposed to do about this? You know, but for whatever reason, the senator, when he gets involved in a fucking fight like this, you know, because this probably happens all the time. They just don't ever show it. Even if the kids are filming it, it goes on World Star. I mean, how many of us ever watch World Star? You could probably go on World Star and see this like a million times over, I would imagine. So it is disturbing, Joe. I bet my life they've never met their daddies. Yeah, it's true. Absolutely just crazy town, but we're going to see more of it. We're going to see more of that story. Yeah, no, she was pregnant mother and young kids brutally attacked in Chicago. So,
in the middle of the night.
Answers. They say this points to a deep-rooted problem in the community.
We need more help out here. Trump sending troops and stuff out here for that. Come send troops out here for these kids. We need these kids. Open up more programs for our kids.
Police say Hatter and her son were taken to the hospital to be.
She said two things there. She said, bring the troops out here for our kids, and we need more programs for our kids. Okay. So you see, like, and when, you know, when people, just because somebody is, you know, saying something on camera does not mean that they actually live in that neighborhood. You know, we've seen this happen with Charlie Kirk and Sandy Hook, and too many times to count. If you know what crisis actors are and plants and just the different people that are used to push the, you know, the government agendas. So, you know, is anybody that lives in that neighborhood really going to say, bring the troops in for our kids to protect our kids because of that fight right there? Is that really what she's saying? That their streets are so dangerous walking home from school that they need the troops in there. Now, I can understand a mother saying that from the thousands and thousands of people that have been killed with the gun violence. I mean, I could understand that. Kids getting killed walking home from school by these fucking thugs that are driving down the road or having gunfights with each other in the neighborhood. I can understand that. Why aren't you saying it for that over the last 10 years? Why are we putting it on the news for this stupid little fucking fight? I mean, this shit just drives me nuts, guys. Where's the BLM movement? Yeah, you know, it's like, Tommy, good morning, sir. That's a serious charge. Yes, it is. I mean, they should be pushing trade schools in these areas if they want some change. They're bored kids and need something to do. They also need fathers in the home first. Yeah, 100%. But you see, they're killing America, though. Now they're calling us Rome, and Rome fell. And, you know, they forced everybody out of their jobs in 2020. A lot of us, including myself, told to leave, go home, restaurants closed, find something else to do. You know, so a lot of people went on unemployment. A lot of people started drinking. A lot of people did whatever they were going to do. But even the people that just tried to maintain their lives somehow, now we're getting pushed out of all of our jobs. And we're being told that we're not talented enough. Nobody can find a job. And we're being flooded with the fucking immigrants. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm over it. And it's getting to a boiling point now, as you guys are going to see, how these guys are behaving and punching Americans and shit already. and yelling in the streets that their God is the only God, and that we got a problem, guys. We have a serious problem on our hands. But let's move away from this little schoolyard fight. Okay, this is important to know about if you use, and I'm guilty of this because I say some stupid shit to my buddy on Messenger on Facebook. We do, we just have, that type of personality. I don't hold back, my best friend and stuff like that. I just fucking speak my mind sometimes. And so you got to be careful.
Starting December 16th, Meta will start reading your DMs. Every conversation, every photo, every voice message fed into AI and used for profit. So here's how.
Guess what? Facebook Meta is reading your messages. You think I'm kidding? Meta, FBI, Insta, WhatsApp will read your DMs and AI chats. This is going to be rolling out in December. Social media giant Meta is about to start reading users' conversations, including direct messages and chats with its AI, with no option to opt out other than not to use their platforms, which include Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, which provides no option to turn its AI off. So the reason why people use WhatsApp is because they think it's private. It's not. Turns out Meta's reading your messages. That's why I use Signal, which I'm sure they can get into Signal. I'm sure they can. There's no privacy. This data access will start in.
Yeah, no, he's right. There is no privacy, and it's all because this is why they need to triple the amount of power, and they're going to war in Venezuela and going to annex over in Bolivia and steal all the lithium, because this new AI social grid that we already live in is going to monitor everything we do. So and it's just how it's going to work. So no matter how even personal conversations with people are going to be monitored and recorded in a lot of places. I don't know the number of those closed circuit TV cameras that China has, but these are not like normal ones. These are like AI, like modern ones. It's upwards of 400 million of them throughout the country. And they have facial recognition, and they know everything about you. They watch you jaywalk, they watch you spit on the sidewalk, they listen to you cuss, they listen to you criticize the government. Everything. Maybe it's going to be the way we dress eventually. The AI is going to be like, you know what? I don't like that. You look sloppy. We don't like those colors. You need to wear black slacks and a white shirt. It's all coming, guys. So this guy, we'll just listen to this guy real quick. He's in a few videos today. This is in Dearborn, Michigan. And this was yesterday.
President Trump, send ICE into Dearborn. These people have overstayed their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders, and they have come to this country to destroy our way of life. We know exactly your laws in your book about lying to our faces, pretending to be Americans, wearing your suits. We don't want you here. Respectfully, get the fuck out of my country. I don't want you here. We don't want you here. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. You guys are not us, and get the fuck out. America first. America only. God bless America. Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Jesus is king.
Order in the chamber.
Okay, before I give any of us a seizure with the shitty ass camera work, the That guy goes on a protest in Dearborn, Michigan. I don't know who he is, who's paying him to do this or whatever. But so he's saying all that shit, and then he gets out on the street and protests with all these guys. Because, we already know what's going on in Dearborn, Michigan. It's ran by Muslims already. Open call to prayer, see no evil, good morning. Open call to prayer 5 times a day. They're going in the grocery stores and telling the people not to sell pork. They're saying if you don't like it, leave. That's what they're saying in Dearborn. So we got more videos of that guy coming. Christians are being killed in Nigeria. So Islamist jihadist militants are entering churches and killing people. Not going to show that video. I don't know if I didn't watch the whole thing, but these poor people are in this church and they just go running. And then, it's a 5-minute video. I'm just going to stop it there. They go running, and then you see a couple of the militants with guns, and then finally you just hear a gunfire, and they're screaming, and it's just fucking bad, man. I don't know anything about it, with why they're killing the Christians over there, but I think what this video is saying is that that's what they're going to start doing here, and they've already subvertly started killing Christians. Not to mention that we've got now America's pastor Rob McCoy calling. You should listen to. If you guys haven't heard that guy Rob McCoy talk, involved in the Charlie Kirk thing, that motherfucker is a weirdo, man. He's got a lot of power, heavily involved, high level military guy, and he's got a lot of power in the church. And they're trying to talk for us and make us like these religious fanatical people. It's fucking weird, man. So, and that's why I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and do this show, because shit's about to hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? If there was nothing going on, I wouldn't have a reason to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and fucking do this show. I mean, I'd still be up, but I'd go make cheesecakes instead of doing this shit. But it is just getting worse. So, you guys know that Starbucks they're all striking. They want to make $25 an hour, the greedy little fuckers. Don't they make tips? Why would you need to make $25 an hour as a barista? You should only be making like $10 an hour as a coffee girl, coffee guy, and everybody tips you. Like, is there anybody that doesn't tip when they buy a coffee? So if you make $10 an hour and you're halfway decent at making coffee and getting your line moving, you should be making $30 to $40 an hour as a barista. This is just my guess. I've never been a barista. But with your tips, because they make a shit ton of tips, I always tip those guys. And I give them chocolate and shit too. The last coffee I bought from like a person I didn't know, I tipped them $5 and I gave each of the girls a dark chocolate pecan turtle. So I think it's just bullshit. But here in Washington, they passed a law. When you strike now, starting in January, taxpayers fund the strikers with unemployment benefits. So listen to this.
What's going to happen starting the first of the year that's relevant to this situation? You're going to start paying people like those Starbucks baristas to go on strike. Remember, Democrats in the legislature in Olympia passed a law that gives unemployment benefits to striking workers. Those benefits will kick in January of 2026. And we said at the time this was meant as a gift from Democrats to their union donors. And so we've got Starbucks baristas. They're already saying, and Katie Wilson is already saying, this could be the longest strike that these Starbucks baristas, this newly formed union, ever goes on. What are the chances they extend it into the new year when they get to access our unemployment insurance system? that employers pay into, that's designed to help people who lose their jobs through no fault of their own. All of this is by design. And now, come January 1st, the leverage will be ripped out from underneath businesses big and small. Public sector, private sector. Como News, Seattle workers rally for potential general strike and fight against the Trump administration. So over the weekend, a bunch of labor groups gathered for a town hall at the Seattle Labor Temple. This was Saturday morning. They said it was to learn about workers' untapped power and how to mobilize for a, quote, inevitable general strike.
So basically, it's just another agenda. You know, it's part of the script that everybody reads from every morning. You guys say this, you guys say that. Trump, you say this. Netanyahu, you say that. It's part of the script. You know, it's all by design. And so they will extend it. And then this is just, you know, this is how Katie Wilson is going to kick off her, you know, being mayor of Seattle. And I hope that Trump does pull FIFA from Seattle. I really do. And I think he's going to, because there's just no way. And we got the governor saying, "Oh, we are so happy to have it," and this and that. I clipped that too. Dearborn, Michigan.
The false narratives that you're getting from Dearborn is completely false.
So when this group of young men here, who is the next generation, are chanting Allah Akbar, what is that?
That is, God is the greatest. Don't you say Jesus is the greatest?
Yes.
So the way that you guys say Jesus is king, Jesus is God, Jesus son of God, is why we say Allahu Akbar. Okay. It means there's only one God and one true God.
Yeah.
You guys Christians.
So it's not any, because I think a lot of people would interpret that as a threat or something that happened
right,
before.
Because of 9/11. And
yes.
Who created the narrative of 9/11? It's the
Probably
Jews, not the Jews.
The government?
The Zionists. No, unfortunately, it's the Zionists. It's the government and the Zionists together.
Yeah.
It's one whole entity. They formed that narrative and destroying the name of Islam. The same way we, you guys are scared that Islam is going to destroy the name of Christianity.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Never will happen. We won't allow that if we get any extremists out of the countries, because there are extremists in both religions, both sides.
Yeah.
So we don't sit there and defend the extremists that actually say, absurd things. We just want to fight for truth and fight for unity. That's it. We live in peace here. There is no problem here. You can interview every single American, Italian, Jew, anything you like. They will all tell you the same thing. We are united here. These young generation here. How come nobody's smoking weed? Everybody be much happier. So yeah, all these young generation.
You know what happens when you get a bunch of Muslims together like that? You know, and this is just a fact. What happens? Missiles and bombs blow up on them and kill them. It happens on a daily basis. And the people that do it, it's always Israel. And this guy is talking, whose problem is it? It's the Zionists and the government working together. So this is what I'm talking about. We are 100% going to see violence in this country, and it's probably going to come. I mean, it could be suicide bombers loaded on buses or cars, just a car filled with dynamite just run into that whole crowd of people. Or it could be as fucking scary as missiles falling out of the fucking sky and blowing that whole block up. Because that's what they're doing over there in the Gaza Strip and shit. They show it to us. And they will kill everybody. They don't have a problem with killing everybody. Like, if they don't like you, they'll kill the whole town. This is what these people do. Not that guy. The people that don't like him. And so is America the stage for their fucking, are they bringing the Middle East violence? We've grown up our whole lives watching missiles come down on concrete third world looking buildings. Our whole lives we've seen that shit on the news. And it's still going on to this day. And now both of the parties involved in all that for all of these decades and hundreds of thousands of years and millions of fucking years, trillions of years, however long they've been fighting for, are here in America. And they're doing the same shit. So what's going to happen? It's not going to go away. This is what it is. So it's just a matter of time until it happens. It's unbelievable that this. Daniel Berry, good morning. Good to see you. I can't read all the paragraphs, see no evil, because my voice, but I'll highlight them and I'll read them silently. Yep, I've been saying that since COVID first hit. You know, the blacks have been doing that to rob people for 5 years now. Yep. And all the refugees never go to Muslim countries. You know, they always come here. So. Bob Ferguson is the governor of Washington State. I'm committed to funding Planned Parenthood in Washington State after a cruel attack on reproductive rights from the MAGA Congress and Donald Trump. I mean, he has Trump derangement syndrome, and he's a complete fucking pedophile, this guy. That's why I bookmarked this. I'm committed to funding Planned Parenthood. These guys are just such pedophiles. I have another video in here. You're not going to believe this shit. This is why my granddaughter will never go to public school. It's gotten to the point where it's absolutely rapists. What do we have here? Dearborn, Michigan, November 18th. So now this is the problem. The fake Antifa movement, all the masked, I don't know if they're white or who they are. I believe they're just put on by like George Soros and, I don't know. There's so many fucking puppet masters. I'm not sure exactly how the Antifa people operate, but they are backing the Muslims, because they're, Antifa's like BLM. They're the flag wavers, Antifa. They wave the pride flag, everything but the American flag. The pride flag, the BLM flag, the Ukraine flag, the Palestinian flag, they're the flag wavers. So they back the Muslims, and they're just fucking psychotic. And this says a masked far left scum maced and viciously assaulted journalist Cam Higbee, spewing Nazi and fascist like rabid dogs. So this guy's just trying to ask some questions. I highly don't recommend going down there and trying to ask questions.
Get the fuck back over. Get walking, Nazi. Get fucking walking, Nazi.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm not trying to be recorded. I just want to open dialogue.
Keep going, motherfucker. Keep going. Keep going. No one wants to dialogue with a Nazi.
I voted for Bernie in 2015. I really
don't care. Fuck you. Fuck you. Keep walking, motherfucker. Please. Get out of here. Keep going, you fucking Nazi.
I'm just trying to have dialogue, man.
I don't care about your fucking dialogue. Your dialogue's based on the extermination of other people. Get the fuck across the street, motherfucker. Get the fuck across the street.
We're not hostile here.
And if you're wondering, how come the police don't get involved, in Dearborn, Michigan, all the police now are Muslim, and they won't take any police reports. They just flat out refuse.
If you haven't,
I'm not even going to play this whole thing because this guy is just such a douchebag, but he's such a fucking piece of shit. I don't know who this guy is, Steven Crowder. I just wanted to play a little bit of him.
Because after hiding it for years, I need to complain. I've been outed. If you haven't heard the news about me,
he's trying to make, he thinks that he's just going to hold on to anything that's about him because the number one podcaster in the world, Candace Owens, played a clip about him. It's because he called her a cunt. And he's just he is such a sellout. I mean, he's not even a sellout. He was just, the only reason he has the viewership he does is because he sucks the dick of Benjamin Netanyahu. He bends his fucking asshole over for that guy. So fuck you, Steven Crowder. Nobody listens to you. You're irrelevant. Charlie Cook took your idea of prove me wrong and he made it something. Okay? You're just a fucking piece of shit nobody. So go fuck yourself. This guy, so this is a Muslim police officer refusing to take a report.
My main issue here is that you said I can go into the station later and file a report. He's in black bloc. You're never going to find him again. You will never find him again. The detective will not find him. I promise you. I've been in this situation before. You're never going to find him. He's masked head to toe. You will never find him again. Yeah, that is shitty police work. It's lazy. So you know that a crime happened, and you're gonna let it slide.
So a guy that's masked head to toe assaulted somebody, and this guy's saying you can go to the police station later and file a report. He's not gonna, right? I mean, if you're assaulted by somebody that's masked head to toe, and you approach a police officer, and this is his answer to you.
Because why? Then go arrest him. Okay, find me somebody who can. Okay, yeah, find the police report after he's gone and you'll never find him again. This is lazy police work. You are a lazy police officer. Or you just don't want to get him. One of the two. Yeah, I'm going to be reporting.
So we have to deal with that. This guy, I don't even know why I bookmarked this one. I don't even know who these people are. Let me get back to the chat for a second. And just collectively took insurance money. This is just some weirdo.
You have my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator or I don't make good points or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did I just say? Dyke?
Your wife with the 3 baby
I'm sorry, dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to
Do the women that you try
show
to
your hatred against?
Do the women that you try
convince them
to
that they shouldn't?
Charlie, did I
pursue
bring
women? Do they know
Charlie,
that
did
your
I bring
wife
your
is 5
family?
years older?
So I could just only imagine the drama that's in that dude's family. She called him out on having a wife that's already got multiple baby daddies, and I don't know. Just that dude gives me like child molester vibes for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll move on. Dearborn, Michigan, a masked member of the violent Antifa group, by any means necessary, speaks at a city council meeting about the need to violently counter those who blaspheme against Islam. BAMN, BAM, is a project of the UEAA nonprofit. See, they just kill us with this fucking bullshit. To even understand what that even fucking means, the narratives that these guys come up with, man. But anyway, we got one clown going into city council saying we need to protect the other clowns.
All right,
and it's you can't even hear what this lady said.
Thank you for coming forward. Just kind of reminder to state your name and address for the record, and then you have a 3-minute time.
My name is Deanna. I'm on Holland. I live at 2051 Triangle Harbor Road in Detroit. I came here today to. So
we can't even hear what the fucking this clown is talking about. but we just read what it said. So Antifa is backing. Here, let me go to the end and see if they're like cheering or anything.
So I would just encourage people to continue to build the movement to get Donald Trump out and defeat his fascist movement, and to build a movement that can put the oppressed in power. Thank you.
Damn right, we love you. We love you.
Have no idea. I found this video interesting. Joya Reid, I wasn't really a fan with her. Remember, she got fired and was crying, but she speaks the truth here, man. I agree with her statement here.
There would be women walking around. I'm talking about women walking around with their boobies dangling, swinging in the breeze. And it's not even like perky boobies, just boobies drooping to their knees. They're kicking their boobies down the street and then want to walk up and have a conversation with you. And I'm like, don't walk up to me with no clothes on and talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I would be disturbed. I'm telling you, I would be alarmed. I'm alarmed enough when I see a woman with her dangling boobies.
Yeah.
If I saw a penis in the ladies' locker room, I would freak out too. This is just, I mean, this is nothing against trans anybody. What it's saying is, if I turn around and I see a penis in front of me inside of the room, I would probably go to management and say, wait a minute, why is there a naked man in this room? Because just the world we live in, just from a safety standpoint, and just from a privacy standpoint, so I can see why she would have gone and reported to management. There's a man naked in the bed. Now, if they clarified and they said, well, trans, okay, but I think they should take her concerns also seriously.
And I don't know if I think I played a video a couple months ago or last month of a lady that went to a YMCA, and there was a man in her bathroom, and she complained about it. And they said that that's what the rules were, that he was allowed to do that because he identifies as a woman. And so that pissed me off so bad. I called the YMCA down the street here one night, and that's what they told me. They go, because there's no kids at this one, they go, because this isn't a family YMCA, that yes, those are our rules here, that anybody can use either bathroom. And I went off. Well, then, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, my daughter messages me and says, oh, it's Friday, and says, hey, I signed my granddaughter up for swimming lessons and gymnastics at the YMCA. So I told her, I said, well, FYI, and she never messaged me back on it. So I'm before they start, we need to have a conversation. And I'm going to call, I don't know which one they're going to, but it better be a family YMCA where they don't have those rules, because I'm just going to find out ahead of time first. So, I mean, my daughter's the mom. It's her decision, but I'll let her know crystal clear, like, you can, she would never leave Mila unattended anyways, but it's just fucking bullshit. The only reason I played that, because it's kind of a weird video, is because it's the truth. They're allowing perverted men into women's locker rooms so they can creep on little girls. I don't know if you guys follow Tim Pool, but he was asked to not be a part of TPUSA anymore because of his views.
Turning Point maybe sees this. And I'll tell you my thoughts on this one. I wonder if I represent an anti-interventionist faction. Tucker Carlson does too, as does Candace Owens. And I wonder if that's the real reason. I've not said anything particularly disparaging about AmFest, but they told me I couldn't come. Why? Maybe it's because I said we should stop funding Israel. Maybe it's because I said we shouldn't be giving money to Ukraine. Maybe it's because young people largely don't want foreign intervention, and there are individuals in politics who disagree. So I will say this. I've been given the official reason. I had made hurtful comments. Maybe. I had been told they're full. Hard to do. Perhaps. Tucker Carlson is expected to speak there. Maybe it's just it would be too difficult to cancel him. Candace Owens certainly would not be speaking there. But I do wonder if one of the main reasons is that there is an effort to consolidate around a pro-interventionist liberal economic order faction. The use of Tim Pool is no more. We don't need a disaffected liberal who's anti-war and anti-intervention. That's not what the movement needs. The movement needs those who are going to champion foreign investment and foreign intervention. I'm not saying that's definitively why it happened, nor am I trying to cast aspersions nor impugn the honor of anybody. But I think one of the principal rifts right now is that young people do not care about our involvement in these foreign countries. They want to know how they're going to buy a house and have a family. But I believe if you're going to change this, you need an organization that reaches students that's going to advocate for a worldview that sees it the other way. And so maybe, I'm sure there will be many thoughts, critiques, commentary. I'm sure there will be lies, manipulations, insults, insinuations, all those things. I don't know. I'm going to do my thing. And
Thank you, Co-Train. I wasn't even looking. Fuck Israel already. I saw a town council meeting with people fighting about flying one American flag and 6 Israeli flags. Yeah, 100%. Damn, I was muted the whole time. Tim Pool has a huge audience. He doesn't need TPUSA. And I'm confused at why Tucker would be still doing it, because I think he would be afraid he would be assassinated, because he's in the same boat as same viewpoints as Tim Pool and Candace Owens. So other than the fact that Tucker has deep ties to the CIA, that it could be a setup where they're just trying to gather more information about what happened to Charlie. But then, is TPUSA so powerful? Are they really the military industrial complex that they can control internet traffic? So is this the new cancel culture? If you don't fall in line with TPUSA, like they're the kind of like the tip of the spear of the new AI social credit score. If you don't fall in line with this new global agenda and are pro-Israel, that you get cut off from internet traffic. I mean, I think it's going to come down to that. I feel it happening. I saw Worry About Our Country first, yes. Wasn't he the first independent media to sit in the new seat they designed for them? Yeah, I think so, Co-Train. But that's just really weird, that TPUSA is such a garbage, anti-American, evil movement. They're hijacking Christianity, and they're trying to rewrite history, and they're steering us into fucking death. I mean, that's how powerful those people are. Erica Kirkus is the weirdest fucking bitch I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the whole story is just, and it keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Blurring out all the Egyptian license plates. Where are the Team Osada crew in the bushes? Tommy stopped by and said hi. Todd Father said he'd be sleeping. Dean Do listens, but he works. And ALV, he'll be in. ALV will be in. Okay, so which one was it? I don't remember. I'm about to lose my fucking shit right now. If I was on camera, I would fucking punch the wall for you guys. This really,
Click on the link in the OSPI email.
this is Washington State. This was sent to public school teachers. Public school teachers in Washington State.
Brings you to the weird bananas thing. And then right below it, you could click on a link to this. Happy Anal August. I mean, plug your kids' ears, please. What the fuck? This is the kind of stuff and the kind of author and the kind of organization that the head of the Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, the man in charge of our entire public education system, believes is perfectly appropriate to disseminate to every public school teacher in the state of Washington. So this is what the emails look like. It says sexual health education news and resources.
And this guy right here is on video walking down the street in high heels. Huge blue stripper high heels. Okay. In charge of all of public schools in Washington State.
And then it has this note on there. And this really bothers me to the core because this is the note that they're going to use to excuse anything that comes after it. It says, note, resources are provided for informational purposes and not as recommendations from OSPI. Resources referenced here may be for educators or parents and may not be intended for use in the classroom. We recommend reviewing all educational materials for alignment with district policy and state law before using with students. Articles and other resources are provided for informational purposes and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints and policies of OSPI. Then why are you sending them out in an email with the OSPI logo on it? And if they might not be in line with state law or district policy, maybe you ought to figure that out before you send it out to all the school districts. Don't you think? So no, this does not absolve you.
I mean, it's just absolutely. That's why I said that my granddaughter will not be a part of that. It got to the point where my head just was just going to explode. All I can do is kind of preach it to the people that, might have their kids in public school in Washington that I know, but you can't save everybody. And when I drive down the roads of Tacoma and I see these kids and their parents, and I'm thinking, fuck, man. But I went to a Walmart yesterday that I normally don't go to in Federal Way. It's called Federal Way, Washington. It looks like a fucking third world, man. Everybody, all the women in that Fred Meyer or that Walmart are wearing those, Muslim garbs. I've seen at least 3 of them. Everybody in there looked like they were from a different country. I'm like, God damn, man. What the fuck is this? All right. But yeah, so, this one goes without even, it's so much pedophilia is going on in Washington State public schools that I'm going to have to demand that none of my granddaughter's educators are gay, for one thing. And I hate, it's just what they got going on. And it's because the reason I say that is because the gays that are in the public school systems in Washington are not normal gays. They are pedophiles. Like this whole, what do you call it? Like the atmosphere. It's just so toxic, and it's just designed around pedophilia. There's no other way to put it. It absolutely.
Turning point, maybe built to cancel him. Candace Owens, certain.
Sorry, it just enrages me. Donna's doing it. Good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Watched video from Saudi yesterday. Kid jumped over the guardrail on Ship Canal Bridge thinking there was water and landed on the street 100 feet below. Damn. Yeah, that sucks, Coach Rand. Oh, I think maybe I seen that one. No, I've seen that. Yeah. That was a while ago. A couple weeks ago, I think. A few weeks ago. There was another one in Seattle not too long ago where dude was running from the cops on the drawbridge and he jumped it like fucking Dukes of Hazzard and shit. And he made it across. It wasn't that wide open, but he did. The cop didn't follow him. Just the good old boys. All right. This is like just a perfect way to behave in front of your children, I guess. I mean, these people, nobody has any class anymore, no self-awareness, no self-respect. Apparently, some people were throwing food in a restaurant and the waiter or waitress had a problem with it.
But you don't need to be throwing stuff. You don't need to be throwing stuff. You don't need to be throwing stuff.
Okay, y'all are gonna allow her to call my 15-year-old child. Bye, get out. Girl, bye. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Calling a 15-year-old kid. Get out. Get out. You have a phone. Get out. Bitch, get out. Get out. You already leaving. You already like, okay, go ahead. What's on you? Deal that one to me. Deal that to me. But you don't need to be throwing stuff. You don't need to be throwing.
I bet you any much, you know, a guy that does this. A guy that does that, and those are women that work there, you know, he beats his wife. I guarantee it. He probably beats his daughter, beats his wife, beats everybody. Hits women, backhands them, cusses at them, probably cheats on her, probably gave her herpes, probably hits animals, probably, you know, I mean, probably leaves the fucking toilet seat up, probably eats moldy fucking cheese. I mean, this motherfucker, dude. Just a fucking complete fucking piece of shit. A judge said this once when I was sitting and waiting to fucking argue my speeding ticket. They bring the people from jail. And he said to this guy, he goes, "It's amazing how the miracle of life can turn into such garbage." Can you imagine a judge telling you that? So that's this guy. It's amazing how the miracle of life can turn into such garbage. All of the above, yes. A, B, C, and D. A coward. Yes. Al is listening on his bike. Yes, he's on his reverse bike. That doesn't hurt your back. Pedaling away. And right now he's saying Osada Osada doesn't know what he's talking about. Governor Bob Ferguson, Seattle will be an excellent host for the World Cup. My team has been working hard with the city of Seattle and our partners to make sure we're one of the best regions to host these games. I look forward to working with our socialist, Marxist, communist, big four-headed mayor, Katie Wilson, and her team. Well, where's everybody going to eat at, Bob? And the city smells like piss, too, by the way, you fucking dummy. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, this is more of this guy. I'm not sure. This is the protest in Dearborn, Michigan.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas.
So, if you guys aren't aware of what's going on here, you have a protest going on in Dearborn, Michigan yesterday where you have some Americans that came and they're voicing their displeasure that the Muslims have completely taken over Dearborn, Michigan. And so these are the Muslims in the background.
This is not America. This This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
So, like I said, we got an absolute powder keg going on over there, and all these people are the same age. They're all like a military age. You know, it's a complete agenda. They brought all these people over here that are in their early 20s, you know, fighting age. So you got all these violent young men here stirring up shit, and they're sucker punching us and doing all this kind of weird shit now. So it's absolutely going to turn violent. You know, it's just, we're just a day or two away from some shit going down. I promise you. Let's see, what is today? Wednesday? By this weekend, Dearborn, Michigan pops off like a motherfucker. I promise you. And you'll see why here in a second. World Cup soccer. Yes, the World Cup is going to be, it's soccer or FIFA or football, whatever they call it. And Seattle's got 6 games that they're going to host. And Trump was saying that they're going to move it because, you know, so they're either going to find and it's still like, I think it's like in March. It happens in March. So it's still a little ways away. Plenty of time to kick some shit off in Seattle and find a reason not to have the games here. And, you know, the tribe that I work with, the Puyallup tribe, they're the sponsors of the 2026 FIFA Seattle games. They've spent millions of dollars to have this here. And they're going to lose their money, I think. I don't know what's going to happen. Seattle is a mini California. Yeah, it's just it is. It's even worse than that. Seattle is very violent. People don't. Seattle's underrated, you know, when it comes to violence. All of Washington is it can be very violent here. Very violent. People don't know, you know. The World Cup is coming here to the Meadowlands. Yeah, there's 6 games in Seattle. And so, yeah, maybe that's where like they'll have they may move the 6 games from Seattle over there or somewhere else. I mean, it's a serious conversation. They may do it. You ever see in San Francisco, they literally piss and shit? Yes. And they do that here too. Yeah, no, they do it here. I worked at the last job I ever will have in my life was a bartender downtown Seattle. And I would go out the back to hit my vape pen. And it wasn't a weed pen. This was it wasn't like a cigarette vape. This was I put concentrate into a pen and fucking smoked that shit like a maniac. That's how I fucking managed to get through the day without smoking weed. I still would be smoking weed. And we would all be out there hitting that. But every time we would go out there in the fucking alley, you'd find piss and shit right behind the fucking door. I mean, it was just, and this was in 2019 before COVID. So imagine COVID hit, what happened? It got 100 times worse. Begins on the 11th of June. Okay. See, I'm completely misinformed about that. So that guy, remember this guy here?
I believe they're going to cancel.
Okay, remember him. What happened? Let me go back to the top. All my bookmarks, I seen it did something weird. It switched my, I don't want to miss any. Got that one. Yeah. Yep. Okay, no. This is the one, guys. This is the video. So it says America against Islam or something like that. Now the white guy holding the sign here is the guy that we've seen talking, you know, that has the vest on, and he was at the town hall meeting. And watch what happens to him. by the guy in the red hat.
I'm gonna take out. I was punched harder by Capitol Police Officer lady, so it's okay.
So that little punk sucker punches him and runs off like the little monkey that he is, probably like 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. So now this dude has got bacon and he's slapping the bacon on the Quran, which I think is a fucking brilliant move. A fucking brilliant move because they don't like that shit at all. So I mean, you can't fake that. I've seen, I'm the guy that doesn't believe jack shit, even on videos. I know they fake videos. They got so many fucking tricks up their sleeve. That ain't fake. That motherfucker got hit. You can hear it. And so, like that guy said, he was hit harder by a woman J6er cop. And he's a big dude. He's military trained. But that ain't how I'm going to be able to take that punch. That ain't how a lot of us are going to be able to take those punches. Because a lot of those guys, a lot of those Muslim guys, all you got to do is look at the UFC and see who's dominant in fucking wrestling and all that shit. It's those guys. Okay. This is what they do. And I'm sure that that's who they sent over here. We're highly trained MMA fucking fighters. And so that's why I say it's going to get violent. If anybody that I know in my family were to get punched by a Muslim for no reason, my Toyota Tundra is going to have a body cam. And I would hope that that's what would happen to anybody else. We can't fucking put up with this shit. Fuck that. I mean, just fucking mow them over and then fucking repave the sidewalk and just, put a little engraving on it. We made a mistake by letting these people in 2025. Rest in peace. It's like a fucking mass grave. I don't know how else to put it. Steve Morinello, good to see you. But we sure the fuck are not going to let people fucking punch our Americans that are protesting. Not like that. And if the police aren't going to arrest that guy, if they're not going to file police reports because all the police are Muslim, like they're working together, I mean, we got a problem on our hands. So what? I mean, people are going to move out. But here's the huge problem. This is why this is all an agenda. Like, who brought those people here? And why is it that Israel is all up in our ass? AIPAC and ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. They spend billions of dollars lobbying American politicians to get their way. And yet, here we are with all these Muslims that they continually bomb and kill and commit mass genocide against. Both of them are in our country now. And both of them are acting up like never before. So it doesn't make any sense to me. But the only thing that makes sense is that there's going to be violence. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to what's going to happen in America. I mean, it's going to get, like I said, are we literally going to see on the news, or one of us going to see with our own eyes, a missile fall out of the sky and blow up a building in America? Because we have one group that doesn't live here bombing another group that isn't supposed to be here? This is what's going to happen. I mean, we already have the stage set for that to happen. It's just a matter of the delivery system. Will it be a suicide bomber with dynamite on his chest? Or a car packed full of dynamite runs into a crowd? Somebody with dynamite on their chest gets on a bus, walks into a grocery store? Or are we talking bigger? Are we talking planes, trains, and automobiles, missiles, and shit like that? dirty bombs, chemical warfare. I mean, we're not talking about fucking third world countries here. We're talking about people that have more money than us, both sides, the Israelis and the fucking Muslims. I mean, we're fucking broke. We're poor. We don't have shit here. You know, the people on the streets of America don't have a pot to piss in. And we've been overtaken by people that have our gas money for our whole life. You know, we've been giving our gas money to these people. Now they're here ready to take our country over. I mean, those people, all those immigrants that are here could live free in America for their entire lives just on the gas that every day that we spend on gas money. I mean, that's how much money we give to the Middle East. So, big problem. It's going to get worse. We can't allow these fucking monkeys to be hitting our fucking Americans. But the bacon slapping.
I was punched harder by Capitol Police Officer lady, so it's okay.
So I encourage everybody to get at least a bumper sticker that has a picture of the Quran with bacon being slapped on it. I mean, that needs to be a meme. And hopefully it will be. Hopefully they'll make a meme of somebody holding up a Quran slapping bacon on it. We can even get better than that. I mean, I got Photoshop skills. I'm gonna make some fucking pork and Quran. You know, fuck these motherfuckers, man. I'm not having this shit in our country, guys. It ain't gonna happen. We've seen that one. Kevin Bacon, my man. I did not know. You know, you had such great movies. There was the 6 Degree Separation of Kevin Bacon. I mean, you were great in Footloose. I mean, we all loved Kevin Bacon movies growing up, right? Look at his shirt. Drag is an art and drag is a right. What?
Drag is an art and drag is a right. Drag is a centuries-old art form of creativity, expression, and self-exploration. It's an opportunity to educate through entertainment, and it's not dangerous. At 6 Degrees, we believe in amplifying the voices of those that are experiencing injustice. So join us in supporting the ACLU Drag Defense Fund by shopping our bonfire campaign or making a gift. Designed by the amazing Mason K. Kira and I are honored to support this important fund, and we welcome you to do the same.
And I try not to play the TikTok music at the end because I'm anti-TikTok. There's the comment of the day. Oh my God, shut the fuck up, Kevin. What happened? Was he always like that? You know? Did they secretly give these guys atrazine? The same drug that turns the frogs gay? According to Alex Jones and RFK Jr. The studies on atrazine, and that's my theory is it's why the gay population doubles every generation. We're looking at 40% of the young people being gay in this up and coming generation is because of atrazine. It's the drug that makes people gay, and but this is a whole different thing. You know, it's one thing to be gay, and it's one thing to be an absolute monster. You know, what happened to where we protect kids? Because this is all about kids. You know, it's about creepy men pretending to be women and going into these bathrooms. That's the crux of the situation right there. Stay the fuck out of the bathrooms. If you're such a woke, libtard piece of shit business owner that's your agenda, then make a third bathroom. Okay? If it's so important, Make a third bathroom and put a picture of a vampire on there, so everybody knows who's supposed to go in there. But it's coming. One of these days, we're just going to hear about a dude, and maybe they won't put it on the news, that's going to take a baseball bat to one of those guys' heads because he was in the bathroom with his granddaughter. And it might be me. You know, I'm not playing with that shit. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass when it comes to that shit. Nobody. First offense, I'm fucking teeing off on somebody. It better never happen. I hope to God it never happens. But you hear about it happening all the time. Yep, I agree. Only two genders. No respect, and you're right, Osada. It's going to get where it is. Osada, I have been watching 950 drones circling my neighborhood, feeling it's a chemical spraying on people. It's seeding the sky, and we have rainstorm at night. Oh, yeah. You guys want to do a weather modification show one day? We could totally do that. I mean, the truth about weather modification and how it works, Doppler radar helps control the weather. You have HAARP. If you guys know about HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program in Alaska. There's actually 6 of them around the globe. It's Tesla technology, top secret shit. They don't even really tell us the truth about what it's used for. They say they use it to communicate with like submarines and shit like that. The oil companies invented it in the 60s to find oil and gold underground, which they do. But it's also used to control the weather because they openly admit that HAARP can move clouds out of the way for the satellites because too much cloud cover can create satellite. And then you can go to the NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric, whatever the fuck that stands for. And you can go to the weather modification page. You know, this is a .gov website, and tell them that you plan on cloud seeding in your area, and you have to pay the fee and fill out the permit to do it. But anybody can do it. There's over 100 private cloud seeding companies in America. So they spray. They do cloud seed, but that's different than weather modification, and it's different than cloud. Well, it is part of weather modification. It's different than chemtrails. A lot of people think that cloud seeding, because they cloud seed from airplanes, but there's also chemicals that they spray from airplanes. Both affect the weather, but they're totally different. One of them is letting out basically salt pellets, and then they burn them with flares. And then the planes that you see, those white lines, those are just fucking aluminum and barium and strontium and chromium and all these fucking plastics and shit that they spray. No respect. Oh, we did that one. I hate to break it. We did that one. Did it go to work on someone? Do it go to work? Yeah, right, Magooch? I don't want to have to, but I will protect my granddaughter at all costs. But, you know, I don't even want to be put in that situation. That's why she's not going to public school. You know, and she goes to a really good daycare right now. My daughter used to work there. Have you heard JD DeLay and his Make Pedophiles Afraid Again? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of JD DeLay. I was kind of weirded out by that guy at first. He kind of gave me some creepy vibes, you know, but you got to give people a chance. And so there's still something about him that's just off a little bit, but I am a fan. I think he's a good dude. Yep. Same. I don't know if you remember last year talking about all those. Yeah, 100%. Magooch. There's a huge thing going on with that. I mean, drones are a huge problem right now. You know, drones, the technology for drones, and you'll get just as good as answers about Charlie Kirk and JFK as you will about the drone situation. You know, there's all kinds of speculation, you know, and I mean, everything from it's extraterrestrial to other countries to us doing our own. You know, I heard that those drones, what they're doing allegedly, which kind of makes sense to me, is they're continually monitoring for radiation, that they have Geiger counters on them, and that they're, you know, the sunshine, whatever those, however they measure radiation, because they have confirmed that there are dirty bombs and small nukes basically inside the United States. There's like entire caches of weapons and shit that have been brought here to kill us. So they are actively monitoring that situation and have been for a while. And I believe that that's kind of what it is myself, that they have Geiger counters on them, but it could be anything. It could be anything. They could have to do with the weather. They could just be cameras on them. I mean, who fucking knows? It's hard to say. It'd be interesting to go down that rabbit hole. Who do you think has the best drone technology? You know, is one government sitting around going, holy shit, what is that? How does that even work? You know what I mean? Are we at the point where, you know, even the president of the United States can be in the Oval Office and be infiltrated by, you know, high technology? You know? Maybe they can beam a hologram inside the Oval Office. Maybe they can make him feel like he's going to get lit on fire. You know, there's just so many possibilities to why the world works the way that it does. You know, who really does own all the technology? You know, and is it constantly evolving, and like some other group? You know, and this shit just stays off the news. I mean, sorry guys, I'm just rambling. ALV, good morning, good to see you. I'm just going to fly through the chat here. My voice is going already, and I'm out of options. I drank all the tea. I do have a little bit more water here. Hold on one second. Let's just move on. We got another half an hour. I like the 2:00 start. That way I can be done by 4 so we can watch Tommy Stiggs. We've seen the cop refusing to take the order. The slap and the bacon we've seen that one. A tweet from Donald Trump. Investment in AI is helping to make the U.S. economy the hottest in the world, but over-regulation by the states is threatening to undermine the growth engine. Some states are even trying to embed DEI ideology into AI models, producing woke AI. Remember Black George Washington? We must have one federal standard instead of a patchwork of 50 state regulatory regimes. We can do this in a way that protects children and prevents censorship. Investment in AI is helping to make us the hottest economy, but over-regulation by the states is threatening to undermine the growth engine. Some states are even trying to embed DEI ideology into AI models. So they want a national standard regulatory for AI. Speaking of DEI, you know, a lot of us were forced to leave our jobs. You know, I got forced to leave my job in 2020, early 2020, with no hope of getting another job. COVID hit. You can't even go out and look for another job. You know, they're telling you to stay home. You know, I never been so depressed in my life. Thank God I wasn't a drinker. You know, I would have fucking drank myself to death. I was so fucking distraught during that time. I mean, and then I got on unemployment, and that was just retarded. And then I got cut off unemployment for 3.5 months. The brokest I'd ever been in my life. It's not a road you want to go down, you know? So they fucking make everybody quit their jobs. Then they only are going to hire retards and fucking black and immigrants for DEI, not smart people, not qualified people. And now we get told we're not qualified or talented enough to do these jobs, that they got to bring in mass immigration. What? I mean, get the fuck out of here. They're just cutting our legs off left and right. And people to this day are still continuing to lose their jobs. Educated people. And it's happening all over. So we've seen that one. Here's this guy again. Let's see what he says here.
Live in Dearborn, Michigan. Pump it up. No, we got the American spirit here. We've got our protesters over here. We're on Schaefer Road right now. We're pulling up with the tour bus of the traitor. This is going to be the day the American civil rights movement starts to reclaim our country.
You know, I'm all for the protest and all that, but for pushing against the Islams, but I would never want anybody that I know to go down there and protest. I think that the January 6th thing was a completely staged kabuki theater setup, including Donald Trump being in on it. And if you know what they do is they'll get people pumped up at home to go down there and protest, and it's going to be a whole different reality when you get down there, and you will end up in jail or hurt. Just my opinion. So I don't recommend anybody going down there and protesting. What is Black George Washington? Oh, that's during the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris era, they were going to make George Washington black. They were tearing down all the statues. You know, the Jefferson statues were coming down. They wanted to put up. They wanted to make Harriet Tubman. They wanted to replace the 20. Who's on the $20 bill? Like Alexander Hamilton, maybe, with Harriet Tubman. But the picture of Harriet Tubman looked like a gorilla, like literally. They took the ugliest fucking racist picture they could find of Harriet Tubman, and that's what they were going to use. So, I mean, it was just crazy town. CG2, good morning. Good to see you. James, hello, hello. Thank you for Bambi, hello. James, is she controlled by the Illuminati? Who? Shelby? Oh, microchipped. Yes. She will be controlled by the Illuminati. So this is more of that. I'll spare us the loud music and stuff. Americans against Islamification. Dearborn, Michigan, where the Islams have taken over. But again, this is a complicated, bigger picture. Okay? This is not going to be against white and black Americans standing up against Islamification. We have Israel that has taken over our country, and they kill these people on a daily basis, these Muslims. They send bombs down into their hospitals and schools and kill everybody in there. Women, children, especially, that's what they like to do. They don't just kill them with gunfire and missiles. They burn them with like hot tar, and they rape them, and they fucking set their buttholes on fire. I'm not kidding. This is real shit. That's what the Israelis are doing to those people over there in Palestine. Okay? So that's what happened already. They already did that. So now they're all here. You know, and does Israel want to kill all Muslims? Is that their goal? That they're holy fucking Jewish Zionist people are the fucking chosen people, that they deserve to fucking expand Israel into America? I don't know. But again, regardless of what our opinions are on this, it's such a fucking weird, complicated issue. What we can all depend on is the fact that violence is coming to America. It's a fact. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen in a dramatic fashion. Is it going to be another 9/11? Drone attacks, missile attacks, dirty bombs, biological, chemical warfare, suicide bombers, all of the above. Yep, Sharia law is coming. So we'll hear more about that today, I'm sure.
find the bullet. I mean, if the bullet hit any bone at all, there is no bullet. It's just fragmentation.
Great point.
And
that was discussed already.
And if there,
This is Charlie Kirk, security guy, talking with Sean Ryan.
yeah, there was no exit wound in the autopsy though. There should be. I mean, if there was no exit wound, then there should be fragmentation of the bullet would have fragmented into who knows how many pieces.
The doctor, and again, this is not a non-disclosure violation, but the doctor came out there and told us. And then they also told chief of staff. So the bullet came in and hit the vertebra. So it came in and then tore up everything in the wound cavity, hit the vertebra, crushed it, shattered it, turned, crushed the second one, turned, kept going down all the way. I think they said C6.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, why not put that info out? Why not put it out? And then
why wouldn't they put that out?
Then
Well, you just put it out and you sound like a complete fucking liar. And you're full of shit. And everybody with half a brain cell knows it. And Sean Ryan, I mean, what are you, dude? Are you the next fucking Dan Bongino? Holy shit. Why don't they just put that information out? Because it's fucking bullshit. A 30-06. That's these people, man. They think we're fucking stupid. Let's move on. If you guys didn't catch this, this is worth a second watch. Washington State Public School
To
System.
the weird bananas thing, and then right below it, you could click on a link to this. Happy Anal August. I mean, plug your kids' ears, please. What the fuck? This is the kind of stuff and the kind of author and the kind of organization that the head of the Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, the man in charge of our entire public education system, believes is perfectly appropriate to disseminate to every public school teacher in the state of Washington. So this is what the emails look like. It says sexual health education news and resources. And then it has this note on there. And this
guy walks around in high heels, bright blue stripper high heels. And he is the public school for superintendent for Washington State. And he's sending around banana emails for anal. Has anybody ever heard of Anal August? Happy Anal August or whatever she said. I mean,
click on the link in the OSPI email, brings you to the weird bananas thing. And then right below it, you could click on a link to this. Happy Anal August.
Happy hashtag Anal August. How our juiciest queer-coded health campaigns are saying more bounce per ounce. Leaving flat slogans behind for content that's cheekier, robust, and real. What you need to know about anal STI testing. You'll test with the swab like a COVID test for your butt. Do it yourself in the bathroom. That's what this says on this email right here. That's what all this literature says. And this is what this guy sends to every school teacher in Washington State. And it goes on to say that, that this is for educational purposes and that some of this material may not be appropriate to discuss in the classroom. Then why fucking send it? Because they're pedophiles. They're rapist pedophiles. It's part of the satanic death cult, the pedophilic death cult that is our government. And they've completely taken over the school system in Washington State. Complete pedophilia everywhere you look. Just absolute rapists. And that's why my granddaughters will never go to public school here. It is crazy, Donna. I mean, it's what they're doing is every generation they want to turn the kids against the parents and, authority. They they did it to us too, like they just always want to prove the parents wrong. Don't play video games, and then all of a sudden the kids were making millions of dollars playing video games. It's like every generation, the internet is going to rot your brain and all this, and then all the money is made on the internet. It's just, they always separate the generations, and they just keep doing it. And there's no respect in the schools right now. None. ALV, I think it's so they can pay. Remember when I did this and that? Sorry if I'm missing. It's a total breakdown of the nuclear traditional family. Yep. I don't enjoy your job at all. I envy you for doing it. Donna, where did that happen? Yeah, she is a school teacher, I believe. So let's move on here. We got another 20 minutes. So when Charlie Kirk was killed, they didn't do an autopsy. When Charlie Kirk was shot, immediately the first thing that they did when he was shot in the neck is they threw his body to the ground, did some weird thing on him, and 6 people carried him off into a van, a black SUV, not an ambulance. And when you get shot in the neck, like I think Medic 101, like day one, says that you don't move the victim. You got to assess the damage. There's going to be spinal damage. So you're not going to move the victim. You got to treat the wound and close up the wound. And they didn't do any of that. Yet there was no blood. There was no bloodshed. So this just all kabuki theater. None of that made any sense. We already know that was a setup. But then it gets weirder when you have Erica Kirk with her big gaudy Freemason rings petting Charlie Kirk's mannequin hands. They put fake mannequin hands. I don't know if you guys remember that. But even before that, J.D. Vance and his wife show up to pick up Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk's body, and they fly it on an airplane on Air Force Two, which is just really fucking weird. What? Why? I mean, we don't want to send his body to the fucking medical examiner's office to try to solve this crime.
We have a vice president that's basically a body snatcher, a guy who flew across the country to pick up Charlie Kirk's body on Air Force Two and get that body the hell away from potential investigators before anybody wised up that Charlie Kirk was flying aboard Air Force Two in his casket, kind of like when JFK flew aboard Air Force One in his casket. Yet another commonality between these two stories. And that while Charlie Kirk was flying around dead with J.D. Vance, he hadn't even been given an autopsy. He never was. They tell us that J.D. Vance is this law and order vice president, and that a few years from now, he might even be the law and order president. Yet he's flying in and transporting bodies of murder victims around the country without autopsies. I mean, does anybody else not think that that's consequential in all of this? Where's the conversation about this? J.D. Vance flew into Utah and picked up that body before an autopsy was performed. We've all heard the recordings of these doctors and law enforcement saying, oh yeah, no autopsy, we're not doing an autopsy. The vice president flew in and took custody of that body. At the very least, that's just all incredibly strange, isn't it?
It is. It is very incredibly strange, and everybody that tries to say anything that's connected to that, it comes out looking like a complete fucking liar, including that guy we just heard talking to Sean Ryan. If you listen to that interview, you never heard a guy such a bad liar before. I mean, at least Rob McCoy is somewhat of a decent liar until he just flat out fucking says some stupid shit like his son was covered in blood, when we have it on video that he was not even have one drop of blood on him. No blood on the ground, and they cemented the whole area a week later. That alone should have people's eyes wide open, and the droplet of things that don't, 100%. And that's just a droplet. Yeah, no, 100%. Totally. what's the explanation for the VB taking? It's a good question. You know, we don't know. Nothing makes any sense, ALV. It does not make sense, but we can't make this up. This is a fact of what happened. It's on videotape. JD Vance was on there with his wife talking about it when it happened. He said, I'm escorting my friend Charlie. Why is there no autopsy? Why are they not treating the wound on the ground? You know, you don't take 6 people and everybody grab a limb when somebody's got spinal cord damage. You know, you got to have a what do you call that thing? The stretcher. You know what I mean? You put them on one of those boards and then you lift them and carry them. This is like basic shit. I'm not even a medic. I know that. You know, so it's all kabuki theater. But and is this neither here nor there? It's neither here nor there. It's just weird. Seen that one. Trump emerges from the White House in badass fashion, flanked by J.D. Vance, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, who's a Jewish Zionist, Secretary Marco Rubio, Jewish Zionist, Scott Bessent, and other top officials. What a ceremony. You haven't lost my support yet, Trump. I'm fucking pissed off at you. For sure. You know, but we don't have a choice but to support Trump right now. He is doing good things, but fuck you for the way you're treating Marjorie Taylor Greene. So sorry, guys, I'm not reading the chat. My voice is kind of going quick here. Now, I'm confused. This says, male Harry Potter star wears a dress while being kissed by Draco Malloy, actor Tom Felton, on the red carpet for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So I don't know if that's the actual Harry Potter or they have a new Harry Potter. I think it's a new Harry Potter. So at this point, does anybody give a shit about Harry Potter? You know, I mean, Harry Potter in a dress, that's what we're going to do now? Harry Potter in a dress. Okay, let's move on. What else we got? More of the Muslims. We've seen this.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This isn't.
We'll move on. Here's my girl.
That's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever.
We need Marjorie Taylor Greene to be protected and kept in office. Real quick, ALV, are you still around? Did you know Tommy had a show yesterday? A wind down. You know, I'm so busy yesterday. I'm doing my thing, running around, this, that, and the other, making cheesecake, baking this, doing that. And I'm like, oh, look, Tommy's on. And so I was like, hey, good evening, social club. And nothing. And I'm going to say hi to Delilah and Suzanne, I think. Then Tommy has the nerve to say, hold on. His show started. His music started playing. He has the nerve to say, oh, Sada, why don't you just show up tomorrow? Hold on. Let me walk a circle around my room real quick. Let me walk this steam off real quick. What did he say? Show up tomorrow? I didn't even know you had a show. He says, why don't you just show up tomorrow? He said, what? I didn't even know there was a show. So that's why I'm doing this show. I'm going to be there at 4 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. a lot of your guys' time for the social club today. We got Barry Manilow. That's who we're doing. So, yeah, he's calling me a traitor. He motherfucked me last night. He said, you know what, Osada? You can go get fucked. Come in late. There's the door. I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm gonna have to show up today and be on time today. So we got 10 minutes. What else do we got here? Let's see. Scary stuff, guys.
Pardon my ignorance. What is the disease you described? The other one, rickettsia.
So it's a rickettsia. It is the same organism that causes Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and that's the most deadly tick-borne disease in the United States. It also was a germ that was being weaponized by the U.S. military at the time, and they tried to stuff it in ticks. I mean, so what is tick weaponization? So in the interviews with Willie, what he said was, I spent over a decade in the biological weapons program, a contractor to Fort Detrick, working on weaponizing fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, trying to mass produce them, stuffing fleas with the plague, stuffing mosquitoes with deadly Trinidad virus, and then stuffing ticks with either deadly or incapacitating diseases like relapsing fever, Venezuelan equine encephalitis, rabies, leptospirosis, which is another spirochete. So it's just like Dr. Strangelove trying to make new diseases, mixing bacteria and virus in ticks with the intent of, this is the perfect stealth weapon. It's poor man's nuke. You drop these insects on an enemy, it weakens the population, it ties up the medical resources, but doesn't destroy infrastructure like a nuclear bomb would. And in one report from a bean counter in the military, they said, tularemia, which is tick-borne tularemia, also rabbit fever, we can kill 10,000 people at $1.33 a life. So anyways, it was just
sorry, I'm muted. So how scary is that? And I think it's a little bit different than the meat allergy thing, Coach Raym, but it's probably come from the same technology. You know, Bill Gates, of course, does anybody not believe he's involved with military operations? So, and who would be the guy that would want to use that to kill Americans? I mean, Bill Gates is the number one suspect, right? So, they tried to stuff it in ticks. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I don't know if I believe this. It does sound strange. Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes, Suzanne. But what else do we got? We got a couple more minutes here. They are apparently the Senate might try to block. They have to vote. I don't know when they vote for the released Epstein files, but apparently Mike Johnson says that even though the House approved it, it's still not going to happen.
All right. Number 5, national security concerns. Okay. The discharge requires the Attorney General to release within 30 days, quote, classified information to the maximum extent possible. This ignores the principle that declassification should always rest, and always has rested, with the agency that originated the intelligence. Why? So that they can protect their critical sources and methods. It is incredibly dangerous to demand that officials or employees of the DOJ declassify materials that originated in other agencies, an intelligence agency.
I mean, what just a complete waste of our lives, the whole Epstein thing. I don't know where ticks come from. I think from horses. Yeah, there's deer ticks and horse ticks, and I think they just like hang on pieces of grass, and when you walk by, they'll jump on you. They will release those flies, and the pages will be completely redacted. Or files. Yep. You already know. Lyme disease. Yep, that comes from ticks. All right, what else we got? This is just crazy. An astronaut who is a lesbian tries to get into her wife's bank account from the space station, from space.
No, I, under the advisement of my attorney, I really kept quiet and refrained from speaking to any media, even though there were requests in advance. And the reason for that was because we didn't want it to come back in my face and make it look like I was trying to retaliate to Anne or to ruin her career, which is obviously what she is stating now, is that I'm trying to ruin her career. But what happened was 2 weeks ago on Thursday, when we finally had a hearing in front of the judge did award Anne McLean a visitation schedule to my son. And at that point, I knew I had to come forward and tell my story, because the momentum of the case was not going in the direction that we were hoping it would go, in accordance with what the law should be and preserving my rights as a parent. And so at that point, I made the decision to tell my story.
This has got to be so hard for you as well.
I'm not going to keep playing that. There's some love quarrel happening between Earth and space. What do we have here? Have we seen that fight? Yep, that's it, guys. That is all the videos for today. It's amazing how fast 2 hours goes talking about this stuff. What I think I'm going to try to do tomorrow is I think I'm going to limit it to just a few videos. And so I can, not a few, but I'll just, not as many. Maybe do like, I don't know. I'm going to count how many I did today and try to lower it so I can just go a little bit more in depth in some of the subjects. So we'll see how that goes. I totally disagree with him here. Of course, Congress has the power to declassify. Yeah. Well, you would know more than us about the law, LV. But at this point, I mean, are we ever going to learn anything? It's hard to say. Thank you, Patty. I got to rest my voice. Stephen, thank you for coming. Donna, thank you for coming. Suzanne, AOV, Co-Train, Stephen Morinello, Joe Della, Bambi, and See No Evil, Tommy. I think that's everybody. Solitaire. Dang it! I just got here and you're done. Yeah, I'm already done. It's a 2-hour show. I'm going to be doing it for 2 hours now. Started at 2 a.m. my time, 2 to 4 a.m. And then I go back to bed. I have a weird sleep schedule. So I go to bed super early. I'm going to get up and The only exception are going to be on the days where I'm super busy today. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to work right after this show starts. But some days I'm so busy I can't even do the show. But that's what it's going to be, 2 to 4 a.m. And yeah, I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun. I think I'm getting a little bit better at it as I go. Still suck, but it's fun doing it. And it's fun having ALV come up here and discuss stuff with me. And I saw a woman once I met at a hospital, and she had a baby that looked like her exactly. And the two moms said, I met a lady at a hospital, and she had a baby that looked like her exactly. And she said it has two moms. So I said, that's why it looks like you, because there is no dad. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, same thing with those guys. They had an artificial insemination kid. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out. I'm going to head over to Tommy's real quick, and I have all kinds of stuff to do today. I started making hot cocoa bombs last night, so yep. I'm busy. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you. Have a great day.